It's been almost 50 hours in this game started this video, so I might as well talk about maybe try my 2 cents at doing a tutorial. I am One Nut Punch, and as per the usual, let's go ahead and talk about this game. Zero Sievert, what do? When you first start off, you're going to get 6 different types of equipments, from SMGs to shotguns to pistols. The two that I prefer is the MKM, which is I think equipment number 4, and equipment number 3, which is the Mosin Nagant. The reason why I choose these two guns is because, one, they do quite a bit of damage even though they don't have that much greater penetration power, and it's a lot easier to deal with wolves, boars, bandits. Not so much maybe the armored units because they have armor, but it is a lot easier to deal with rather than using a submachine gun or a shotgun that doesn't do anything. The other thing is that you start off with a bulletproof vest that's not going to do very much. It might stop small arms fire from super far away, but it's not going to stop shotguns, full automatic rifles, and maybe bolt actions from mid-tier range. If you're talking about where to go for the 5 maps, Forest would be the way to go in terms of starting out brand new. And I know a lot of people would say, well, you can go to any of them. To be fair, Forest would be the easier portion of any of the maps. The main is because of the different enemies you fight. For example, Lazar's Guard, bandits, boars, wolves, green and red army, and then last but not least, the hunters. The hunters are literally kind of like you, except they're NPCs that will sit and wait, not attack you, unless they see you, and just, doing the same thing you do. But mainly, when you're playing a Zero Sievert, the only thing I want you to do is take it slow. If you go fast, you will die. Every single time. I've died maybe about 127 times as of the 50 hours, and you are, even with high tier gear, you are still going to get annihilated. I'm still dying to Botco MKMs. I'm getting hit by people using Vinter BKs that shred me in a single burst, and then I'm getting killed by Blinks that will run at you straight up, chop you twice, and insta-kill you because you took tier 3 bleed damage, and he's just a Blink. He's really fast, and he hits like a truck. So mainly it's a lot of holding down the sights so you could see a little bit farther out, even if you don't have a scope, seeing for blinks, ghouls, or whichever. The other thing I forgot to mention was the ghouls, and that was another enemy inside the forest area. The ghouls themselves, 1 or 2 of them is not bad. However, when you start dealing with the swarms and you find the nests, like in the makeshift camp or mall, you will get destroyed because the nest is probably the most dangerous thing I've ever messed with. Once you start shooting the thing, make sure you finish it off. Otherwise, they're going to spawn 5 to maybe a dozen ghouls to just jump on you and kill you. If there was one time that any faction or multiple faction would ever unite for something, it'd be to kill a ghoul nest. Because those are just... I can't imagine a blink nest if I ever found one. And probably freak out and scream, so... I can't really do much else about that. Again, you could always tell the difference between, like, the different soldiers and who you're fighting. For example, I'm fighting Lazar's Guard. They always have, like, this green-blue bandana. Some of them have helmets. And yes, I did show that I did die. And the main reason why I'm showing this off is because you still will die, and they are going to be putting in a hardcore mode later on in development. That was one of the things they were showing off in the roadmap. That being said, I did want to show this stuff off for what I use from my hideout. I used kitchen, infirmary, workshop, ammo producer, forge, and shooting range. Shooting range and gym you could do either or, but if you're talking about becoming like a brand new player and having to level up faster, highly recommend gym and shooting range to do that. The main thing about gym and shooting range is that they give you additional experience for shooting or doing fitness. When I did it, and I leveled up my stuff all the way maxed out, I did it without even knowing about the tab. All I did was a bunch of tasks and got a crap ton of experience points that way. And if you do not know who to talk to, it is the General of the Green Army, Barman, the Doctor, the Conductor for some time, he does the basics, and then you'll talk to other people like Mr. Junk, Igor, and then some other people that will do offhand or like one-shot quests that you have to find to get like armor or a weapon. For example, when you go talk to Mr. Junk at the makeshift camp, he tells you that you have to go and dig up somebody's grave to get a ring called Grigori's Ring. And when you give it to him, he gives you a 20-piece armor set that has got pretty good fragility and decent armor. I think it's a class 3 or 4. But you get it for free rather than spending 45,000 rupees on it. Just saying that there are quests like that to where you can get decent weapons and armor without having to spend a shit ton of money. The only reason why I went with the radiation suit was because it was a class 3, 250 radiation protection, and fragility was really low. If people don't understand what fragility is, my understanding of it is that it's technically like armor and what you can get hit by. For example, I can deal with shotguns at medium to close range, mid-tier to high-tier rifles, depending upon what it is. And pistols and SMGs don't do really anything to me besides bleed every once in a while. So there's different things for different classes. There are, of course, maybe, I think, 3 more classes above me, which I think is class 6. And one of the bosses in the game, Kiba, which is at the mall, has a class 6 mask that I want to get, if you can get it. He also has a 95-round drum with a RPK that's modded. So, just like Tarkov, there's also bosses in the game. I've only met 3 of the 5. Kiba, Armin, and Lazar. And Lazar is at the forest. Armin is at the makeshift camp. And then Kiba is in the mall. I don't know the swamp and I don't know industrial area, so I'll let you guys know about that later. In terms of what else to do, like I said before, mostly it's just take it slow. If you're going out and finding stuff, get all the loot you possibly can. Always look at your weight. Always look at your meters for your stamina, hunger, and thirst, as well as your radiation. Radiation gets too high, smoke some cigarettes, take some anti-radiation meds, and just play it slow and methodical. The thing is when people are playing this game, they assume that Shadow is showing everything. No, not really. If you go around a corner or you go around maybe a box, then you'll see everything. Never assume that there's nothing there, because every time I did that, I've died. So, again, I've been One Nut Punch. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later.